Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Logan Seidel, and I'm a district representative for Congressman John Garamendi. It's my pleasure to welcome you this evening to the 2021 Congressional Art Competition reception. Every year, students from across the country, including our district, get an opportunity to submit their artwork and put their talents on display. And every year, we're absolutely blown away by the quality of submissions that we get from talented high schoolers all across our district. Of course, we couldn't accomplish all of this without the teachers, judges, parents who support the students who make this event such a resounding success every single year. So thank you all for the time and dedication you put in to this point, and we certainly appreciate you taking the time to submit. We'll go ahead and begin momentarily with a few words from the Congressman, and then we'll have a brief recognition of our judges before moving on to the artists and their submissions. Now, each artist piece of artwork will appear on a slide on our slideshow and will be displayed as we go through the program. And at that point, the Congressman will have a chance to ask you a question, or you can say something about your artwork if you'd like. And then as we get towards the end of the slideshow, we'll be able to announce the winners from each county, as well as our overall grand prize selection and runner-up. So without further ado, allow me to introduce Congressman John Garamendi.
Logan, thank you so very much. And for my staff, I see Debbie Gibbs is here, and I know Jackie is also involved. But really, thank you for setting us up for this day. Before we got started, I was looking at the screen and I was looking at some of the students as well as one of the judges. And I'm going, we're really, really blessed with a talented group of young men and women that recognize the value of art. Not only what it does for them personally, my daughter and wife and two of my other, well, actually three daughters and my wife are artists. And I know the joy that they find in just doing their artwork. They're painters and sculptors, and just the personal joy that they get from that. And I suspect each of the students that have participated in this art contest, as well as the judges that in their lifetime, they have worked in their own art work along the way. And so it's just the personal satisfaction. But beyond that, art brings to our society, to our communities, and to really this nation, a very special opportunity to express who we are as Americans. And that is seen in the artwork that is out there. And of course, art is more than what we are doing today. Today, we're doing the visual art. But art is also the music. Art is certainly film. We're seeing more and more of that in so many different media, from YouTube to documentaries to, again, the long, 90-minute or 120-minute films that are that are going to be back into our theaters across the country. Years and years ago, well, just this not years ago, but this last month, I had the opportunity to talk to Senator Alan Cerroti. He was in the California legislature in the 1970s, and he was a big promoter of the arts across every conceivable part of California. When he retired from the California legislature in 1980, he handed me two files. I was then in the California Senate. And he said, I want you to work with these. I want you to make these into place. One of them was the California State Summer School for the Art. And indeed, we did get that into law in 1984. It became law, and the California Summer School for the Art has continued. And perhaps one or more of you that are participating in today's art contest will seek out an opportunity and a scholarship to spend a month at the California State Summer School for the Art in Southern California. It's an extraordinary opportunity to work with top artists across the country. The other one was the Percent for Art. And this was an effort that every construction project, every high school that was built, every bridge, every prison, whatever it was that was built with California state money, that 1% of that money would be spent on artwork. So the next time you go off to the Sacramento International Airport and you look at those crazy birds that are flying around on posts that are some 20 feet in width. That was the percent for the art. We never did it at the state level, but we did it at the local level, and Sacramento County requires that a small percentage of every construction program have art in it. And you go into the main terminal, the new terminal there, and you see that gigantic red rabbit. Well, there you have it. So what all of you have, each one of you in your future, is an opportunity to participate in many, many different ways in the art that you have already started as part of your life. Maybe it's for the personal satisfaction. Maybe it'll be part of a demonstration. Maybe you'll have your own giant red rabbit somewhere out there in the next construction project the Sacramento County puts forward. Don't know. But there are enormous opportunities, and it turns out for California, art in all of its forms, whether it is music, the symphony or the ballet in San Francisco or LA, or maybe it is the, I don't know, the program that's put together at the local bar with somebody strumming a guitar, getting paid to do that. Art is in so much a part of our lives, and you're participating in it. So I want to thank you for participating. I know that the winner of this program is going to be in the United States Capitol. Your artwork will be displayed there for a full year, and the runner-up will have their art in my office here at the United States Capitol. And we'll probably display one or another of your art in our district offices. So we look forward to getting this program underway. I want to congratulate and thank each and every one of the 23 of you that have participated in this event. And I want a special shout out to our 4 judges. Natalie Nelson from the Pence Art Gallery. Normally, and once again, this coming year, we will reach out to the Pence Art Gallery in Davis, and we'll have the art displayed there once again. I hope, Natalie, we can do this again. It's been a wonderful opportunity for us to meet personally. Obviously, we're doing it virtually, as the pandemic has not yet left us. So we'll look forward to that. Natalie, thank you so very much for once again being one of our judges, and for in the past hosting us at the Pence Gallery there in Davis. David Reed, I saw you on the screen a moment ago, and Shante Arroyo from the Yuba Sutter Arts Program. Thank you so very much for once again being judges for us. And Darcella Miranda, you look to me to be young enough to be a student, but apparently you have now graduated and you're now working for and part of the YOLO Arts Program. So I'll probably see all of you at one place or another once again when I start doing more in-person visits around my district. So Darcella, David, Shante, and Natalie, you've been our judges. I know this is a very, very difficult thing to pick and choose among some extraordinary artists in our high school program. So thank you so very, very much. I'm going to change my screen. I'm tired of looking at me. And a shout out, Darcella, you came on the screen a moment ago. Why don't you come back up on the screen? And then David and Shante and Natalie, you're out there somewhere. I'm going to scroll through. There you are, Darcella. There you go, YOLO Arts. And Natalie, you got to be here somewhere. David, I see you. And there you are, Shante. Thank you so very, very much for participating in this. And I think we've got all 4 of you. So thank you so very, very much. We'll look forward to getting on with the competition. I suspect you guys had a very tough job. David, was it as tough as I thought it would be?
It's impossible, but we press on and just love this program each year. Thank you for continuing to support it.
How about you?
Yes, it was my first year judging, and it was very, very difficult. You all submitted some amazing work, and I'm proud of the decision that we made.
Good. Natalie, I know you're out there somewhere. And Darcella, we've seen you on the screen, but why don't you chime in with a few comments?
Yeah, first I want to say thank you to everyone who submitted art, as well as just like a congratulations to all of us for making it past this really crazy year. I know that it has been incredibly hard, not only for like teachers, but also for students. And so the fact that you're still out here being inspired, making art and getting engaged is amazing. And it was really difficult to choose a winner because there was so much powerful art that spoke to a lot of what we kind of went through this past year. So thank you.
Natalie. Saw you on the screen a moment ago. Well, you're there someplace. Drusilla? I think you were on a moment ago, Natalie. Well, we're going to move on and we'll come back a little later and cover all of this. I find this really exciting. My daughter, youngest daughter, is an art teacher. She's taken a couple of years off as she's raising her family, but she'll be back at it before too long, and she'll join maybe one of the schools from where you are, all of you are from. So Logan, why don't we go ahead and get started on seeing the art that has been submitted.
Yes, sir. We can go ahead and get that slideshow up, and should be showing up on, excuse me, showing up on everyone's screens momentarily. There we go.
Logan, why don't you tell us how you're going to operate this? You're going to be the conductor of this event. And once again, you did it quickly, but why don't you tell us one more time how you're going to run through this?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So as I said at the top, we have a slide with every submission that we received this year from each artist. So what we're going to do is go through the submissions that we have. And when your picture comes up, again, we would love to hear a word or two from you about what inspired you, or why you care about art and the role it plays in your life, or why you decided to submit the piece that you did. So we'll go ahead and do that, going through each one at a time. And towards the end, we'll have the winners for each county will be announced, as well as the overall and the runner-up. So we should be able to go ahead and scroll on to the first one up, which was Room Without a View by Amy Martinez of Marysville Charter Academy for the Arts.
Logan, I would like to introduce the artist as we go through it. I think I can see the screen. So if you'll scroll through the
Good.
screen, because I really like to recognize Amy Martinez, A Room with a View. Marysville Charter Academy. Amy, if you're on, tell us about what you were trying to accomplish here with this.
The main point I was trying to get in this photo was really show everything we have lived through in the past year, and trying to incorporate it in a photograph by showing how almost all of us felt isolated from being away from others. And I felt that the importance to incorporate this in a piece of art was that this is a one-at-a-time experience that we are all living, and we never know if we're going to be put in a place like this ever again.
Amy, I'm looking at your photo here and I'm going, all of us lived that. Looking out the window as we were sequestered. Truly a terrific piece, and speaks to this, really the tragedy and all that we endured this last year. Thank you so very much for your submission, Amy. I think our next one is Elisa.
That is correct.
Elisa from Sutter Union High School, The Perspective of Monsters and Humans. Elisa, can you tell us what you have in mind here?
I really just thought it was more of whether people's perspective on whether the monster was really a monster, because I had a human skin on the monster's hand, making it seem more human, and the human seeming more like a monster reaching towards it, and how their interaction would be, which one would be more devastating, and how everyone looks at that and perceives it in their own way, determining who's a monster and who's human.
We often find that the monster is us.
Yeah.
Beautifully done, Elisa. Thank you so very, very much. Appreciate that piece of work. It caused us all to think. Okay. Angela Delgado, compassion to a fellow brother. Marysville Charter County.
So basically, compassion to a fallen brother revolves the idea of showing compassion to someone regardless of like the things like they went through, such as like, because this piece does revolve around the idea of Michael and Lucifer, and like they're both from the Bible, and you know, Lucifer is this dark angel, but to Michael, he is his brother, and regardless of like before he like he betrayed and like stuff, he just wanted to help him out because he did see hope for him. He did see that there was a possibility for him to make it through because it's his brother. He is his brother. Yeah.
Angela, that's really, really very thoughtful and beautiful. And reaching out with compassion to a fellow brother or a fallen brother, somebody that's in need. That is so very, very important. It's beautifully done. Thank you very much, Angela.
Thank you.
Bailey White, grow through what you go through. Bailey, I think I know where you're going with this one. Tell us about it.
Basically, I think the main goal I had was there's more to a situation than just seeing the black and white. To look at the bigger picture, find the positivity in the color, especially like I think what we've all been going through recently. There's more than just black and white sides.
It's really important. All of us have gone through an enormous trauma. And particularly for those of you that are younger and you don't have all of the life experiences that someone my age would have, but to grow through what you go through. You know, every situation is an opportunity for growth. And it can be a positive or it can be a negative. And if you turn it into a positive, I think that's what you're talking about here.
Yeah.
Very, very nicely done, Bailey. Thank you so very much for the submission. Thank you. Emily Scott, Midnight Cabin. Oh my, would I love to have been there. Emily, Emalia rather, excuse me. Are you with us? Well, it's a beautiful submission, and I don't think you're with us right now, or at least you're on mute.
Yeah, I don't believe we received an RSVP for her, so she is not on the call currently, sir.
That's a very nicely done piece. Hannah Tucker, An Imaginary Giraffe. I think there's more to this than a giraffe. Hannah, are you with us? I'm trying to.
Hannah couldn't make it either, sir.
Okay, very interesting. The two hands clasping and the giraffe on one side upside down, the other side imaginary. Well, we'll have to ask Anna where she was going with this. Holly Taylor, America. Sutter Union High School. Holly, you're with us?
Yeah.
Well, you're out there somewhere. Tell us what you had in mind, where you were going with this piece of art.
So I thought that we really needed some like patriotism right now, going through these hard times, and I thought this would represent that well.
Yeah, I really like this. Being here in Washington, the American flag, the eagle, symbols of America and patriotism, really, really important. I'm on the Armed Services Committee, and a good portion of my day today was spent with the generals and admirals. And so you can see the patriotism at that level, but when you see the patriotism at the high school, it's even more important. So Holly, thank you so very much for this submission. It's very, very important to me.
Thank you.
Janice Martinez, body crazy, curvy, wavy. Janice, are you with us?
I believe Janice was unable to make it as well, sir.
Now, this particular piece, pencil, I suspect, or I suspect it's a pencil drawing, reminds me of a piece of work that my wife did when she was in college. And, the human body is an amazing work of art in and of itself, and the depiction of it down through the decades, through the centuries, has been one of the major subjects for art, and understandably so. We'll thank Janice virtually. Kevin Pisano. Kevin, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here. So my piece was basically all about the feeling of wonder and also confusion at the same time. And as if she's looking off to the distance, wondering if what she's seeing is suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
What I love about these pieces are the way each of you see the vision. In this case, a schoolyard exercise or slide, and how you can take that and turn that into a message of, in this case, as you say, don't be suspicious. What are you concerned about here? What's going on? Really appreciate this. Is a very interesting piece. Thank you so very much, Kevin. Laura Anderson, a poppy flower, Sutter Union High School. Laura?
Hello.
There you are. Tell us what you have here.
What I made here is a poppy flower, which is the California flower. And I just wanted to make something from my own state and present it to you guys.
It's really quite amazing. We often pass by without paying a great deal of attention to the natural art that exists. And the California poppy is one of obviously a California flower. They're ubiquitous, they're everywhere, and we see them, but do we really look at them? Do we really take the time that you did to really study the flower in all of its intricacies and grace and beauty? You did, and thank you so very much for putting it on paper. And you bring to us an opportunity to observe the natural world and its beauty by putting that beauty on paper. Thank you so very much, Laura. Aricio, are you with us?
Yes, I am. Hi.
Just staring into the distance.
Right.
Sharon Kell, what do you have here?
So I just wanted to experiment with digital art and just foliage, because this pandemic, even though it took a lot from us, it also gave us a lot of opportunities to use our time and to maybe develop some new skills or explore some new habits. So yeah, that's what I did. I experimented.
So what did you do here that was experimental?
So in digital art, there's a lot of tools that you can use, there's a lot of stuff. I could list a lot of things. So
you went into the digital art library and pulled up.
No, I painted this on digital on my computer.
Okay, so fascinating. This is really for all of you out there, the digital art has become an incredible opportunity, not only for expression of artistic talent but it's also a very growing occupation. And so there's a lot of opportunities for employment in the digital art world in so many different ways. Very interesting. Aricia, did I say that correctly?
Yes, you did.
Well, occasionally I get it correct. Aricia, thank you so very much for this. Zoe Ryan, a dream. Zoe, are you with us?
It doesn't look like Zoe was able to join us, sir.
An interesting display of birds and bird wings and feathers. Thank you so very much, Zoe. Love to find out more about what you have. And I think I see, yes, I see eyes in the wings. So what do we have here? Thank you so very much, Zoe. Generations past. Cadenza Whitaker.
Hello.
Tell us what you're doing here, Cadenza.
I was inspired to create this artwork by capturing moments of time. I created this artwork of my grandmother to show the beauty of time and past, that beauty has no age. I just captured the past with black and white and showed what she would have looked like the time the photo was taken.
Fascinating. And this is your grandmother?
Yes.
You know, just it turns out that going back through the old photos dating back to our grandmothers and grandfathers and so forth, we pull from them a better understanding of who we are. And I suspect you did that as you were working on this piece of art, Kay, that you began to understand more about yourself, your own heritage. And that's really a beautiful thing to be doing. And so thank you for bringing forth the past generations.
Excellent. Now we'll go ahead and be getting into the county winners, starting with Colusa County.
Well, first, a big congratulations to all of the submissions. You were from multiple counties, and we really appreciate that. Mia Espinosa, Colusa County winner, passing by. Maria, are you with us? Excuse me, Maya, are you with us?
It doesn't look like Maya was able to make it, sir.
A fascinating
Mia,
piece here, really extraordinary expression of colors put together in a way that keeps me wanting to look at it and to try to visualize the various ways that this was constructed. So there's our Colusa County winner passing by. Thank you very much, Ms. Espino.
Hello.
Maya, you're with us. I see
Yes.
that
Yes.
shadow of there from
Yeah.
Lake County.
Mm-hmm. I based this off of the symbol of California, which is a grizzly bear, and sort of designed it to sort of be a blurry and hazy, surreal drawing to sort of capture a memory type of when grizzly bears used to roam the forests of California.
Well, they are found. I think we may have some grizzlies way up in the northern part of the state, but for the most part, they're gone.
Yeah.
However, if you get over towards Yellowstone, you'll find plenty of grizzlies. A very interesting way of presenting the grizzly bear. And if you happen to see one in real life, give it a lot of distance.
Yeah.
You really want to be up close and personal with it. Very nicely done. Is this a pencil drawing, or are we using color here?
This was a pencil drawing. I drew it out and then I use a certain tool to smudge pencil around it to give it this surreal look.
Well, you certainly succeeded in that. And thank you so very much. And congratulations, Lake County.
Thank you.
California Virtual Academy. This is an online academy.
Yes, it is.
Perfect. Well, very good. Thank you. Really look forward to. And where do you live in Lake County?
Yep.
Perfect.
Oh, Lake County, I live in Nice.
Ah, very good. Nice, nice. Some of us have trouble pronouncing it. it really is a place in Lake County as well as France. Moving on here. Sacramento.
And I don't see
Nathan?
Nathan on the call, sir.
You know, there's something here that really, I think, grabs all of us. And that is a lot of what we've seen this year, despair. We've seen a lot of suicides, particularly among young people. And Nathan, you're working out perhaps your own concerns with art. It turns out that artists often have deep emotions, positive, hopefully most of the time, but then also deep concerns and despair. And so the media, that is the artwork, becomes a way of expressing the internal emotions that the artist has. And I think we're probably seeing that here with Nathan. Nathan, we look forward to talking with you, and we'll see where this goes. Thank you so very much. Carla Verdin. Carla, are you with us?
Yeah, hi.
Go ahead, Carla. Tell us what you have here.
Okay, what I try to express is how each one of us tries to carry our emotions and how they transform in different ways, in which they do not always look the best, but in spite of everything, we try to live with it and try to make sense of what is happening in our lives.
I think I was just talking about this a moment ago. The different emotions that all of us possess, and the artist has a special gift, and that is the ability to take those emotions and to translate them into a medium. In this case, you're using watercolors?
No, acrylic.
Acrylic.
Yeah.
Well, that's, it's a real gift that all of the participants have. And so for Solano County, you're presenting to all of us a visualization of the emotions that you have or you perceive others to have, and then putting it using acrylics onto paper for all of us to look at this and go, where am I in this picture? Where am I? And I'm asking myself that, Carla. So thank you so very much for causing all of us to think through, and you're the Solano County winner. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hunter Hudson Gesfor. Hunter, are you with us?
Hi.
There you go, Hunter. Talk to me about this. Unable to recall. Sutter County winner.
Well, with this, I wanted to express the way I remember things. For context, I have a very poor memory, and so that's something that affects me a lot in my daily life. And so I wanted to really just explore and express that.
And you're doing that with vivid color and a darkness above. Is that what you intended to do here, to indicate that, recalling memories and so forth?
Yeah.
Very interesting. What is your medium here? Is this a?
Well, it's both photography and a little bit of digital art.
And the subject is?
Me. It's a self-portrait.
Interesting. Once again, there's a more so this year than in the past years, and I'm going to talk to the judges here. Those of you that have been with us before, there's more introspection this year than in the past. As I view these, I see these young artists looking at themselves analyzing themselves in this area. Is this a result of the pandemic, of the fear, of the isolation? So I'm talking to the judges here. What do you see from all of these? Any one of you pop up? I think, Logan, see if you can bring the judges up. I'm really curious how they view these submissions this year versus last year.
Yeah, go ahead, David.
Congressman, I think you said it earlier, the sense of not being lost, but kind of the uncertainty of what we've faced this past year. And I think a lot of this work speaks to that issue and kind of ask questions. I don't think there aren't necessarily any solutions, but a piece like this, to me, it just portrays that uncertainty.
Very interesting. And any of the other judges want to jump on here and their own thoughts about what they're seeing? Maybe not, Logan.
Doesn't.
Well, I'm just going to share what I see. It's been a very, very difficult 15 months. There's no other way to describe it. It is just plain difficult. And particularly for young men and women of the high school age, their entire world has been turned upside down or largely pushed aside. And so Hunter, you and the other artists who have presented here are really in my view, expressing your emotions, your concerns, your sense of the reality of what you have gone through over these last 15, 16 months now. For all of you, I guess those of us that are a little older, we've gone through it too, and the various ways in which we dealt with it. But I'm really pleased that all of you have chosen to deal with this last month or last 16 months in a way to express yourself through art. It's really important. And you've done it here. Hunter, thank you so very much for this. Unable to recall. I think we do recall these last 16 months and what it's meant in our lives, and the way in which it has really turned your life upside down. For those of us that are a little older, we've gone through many more different things. We've never gone through this, but not at a young age like you. So let's move on here. Yolo County.
And we have Aricia again.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Aricia.
So I painted this to just demonstrate the pandemic, obviously. Just to try to say that washing your hands can basically give us hope, even though it's been like over a year since it started. That's why there's like a heart-shaped mask in the middle of the hands, even though it's like kind of hard to tell it's a mask. So yeah.
Very interesting. And the result is a rainbow.
Yeah.
And the rainbow's always been the symbol of hope.
Yeah, that and like other stuff.
Yeah. Very nice. Congratulations. Yolo County winner. Yuba County. Hope, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
What do you have in mind with this piece of artwork?
So for this piece, I know that everyone struggled through the pandemic in various ways, and I was fortunate enough to be able to use this year as an opportunity to grow as a person and as an artist, and this piece reflects that.
And what do daisies mean to you?
Well, daisies represents like in integrity of ourselves and new beginnings. So I think that's interesting when paired with the masks, which represents the pandemic, trying to keep the integrity of ourselves through the struggle.
I'll tell you what I see in this. Daisies, obviously the beauty of flowers, which I talked about before, the beauty of nature. But what I find most interesting about this one is that you chose a pandemic issue, a theme. Their theme is the pandemic. And the daisies, your own mask. But I think it fits mostly with your name, Hope. And that's what we all want. And I think more than that, your name together with the daisies is a perfect combination. And the use of daisies for your mask and the word and your name, Hope, fits so beautifully together. Thank you so very much for this one.
Thank you, Congressman.
Okay, Logan.
Now we are on to our final two, sir. First, we're going to announce our runner-up to the grand prize, and then we will finish off with the grand prize. And perhaps before you do that, I should note for everyone, every single participant who submitted this year will receive a congressional certificate. You should already have received that. In addition to that, each of the county winners who we just announced will receive a $50 gift card, and we'll be reaching out with you to coordinate that. And the grand prize winner, who we're about to announce, is lucky enough to win a trip to DC for an arts reception with winners from all of the different states and congressional districts.
Thank you, Logan. I'm curious what we did last year before we move on. Yeah, I want to go back and review last year. Well, let's get going here. The runner-up, let's go.
Yes, sir. Here we go.
Alexandra, tell us what you're doing here with this one. Love us like you love our food. Marysville Charter Academy for the Arts. Alexandra, are you with us? I'm trying to get your...
It looks like she's here.
Well, we all have trouble with Zooming. How do we get the Zoom to actually work? We start punching the screen and usually punch the wrong place and suddenly we're gone. We'll wait a few seconds. Alexandra, I suspect you're out there somewhere. You may want to know that it is now 7:45 in Washington, D.C. And I've not yet had lunch or dinner. And I'm having a great deal of trouble with this particular piece of artwork. And I think I know what Alexandra is trying to say here. And I suspect, oh, hello, Alexandra.
So this is
Jared,
Gisela from Yellow Art speaking. Alexandra's microphone isn't working. And so I'm going to read what
it's working now. Sorry.
Okay. No worries.
I made this because at the time I was reading a lot of articles about anti-Asian hate crimes, and it really compelled me to draw this and try to show people what was happening with a lighthearted image. Seeing these stories hit me very close because I'm an Asian American and I saw these people as like people who could have been me or my family.
You know, I was looking at this and I'm going, okay, love us like you love our food. And I see the Asians, and certainly we love Asian food. But I didn't notice the background until you began to tell us what this was about. I knew what it was about, but I didn't see the background. And the way you put that background on this painting makes it very, very powerful. To juxtaposition love us like you love our food with the reality of the Asian hate that is endemic in our society. Alexandra, thank you for doing this one.
Thank you.
Really, really important, really important. And so a very powerful message. You know, I can see this on billboards up and down the state of California. Thank you very much, Alexandra. And for the Marysville Charter Academy, you've got a lot of submissions from the Academy. And so if the art teachers are on, if anybody from the Academy is on, there's a big shout out to the Academy and for the work that you are, the education and the encouragement you're giving to students. So thank you very, very much. Okay, now we got the runner-up. Love us like you love our food. Alexandra, thank you for this powerful, powerful message. Okay, our grand prize winner. Okay, Heroes Like Me, our grand prize winner.
Hello.
Boila, did I
Faila.
pronounce your name correctly?
It's Faila.
Phalia. Perfect.
Faila.
Okay, Phalia, I see a picture down here of, is that your family?
That's me and my old school.
I'm trying to expand it so I can see all of you. So tell me what you're attempting to do here or have successfully done here.
I was trying to make a portrait of Chadwick Boseman, and my intention was to honor him this piece because we lost him in 2020. And I wanted to do this because I was inspired by him, and he impacted a lot of people. I think he was very honest and honorable. Yeah, he impacted a lot of people in my community, so I was inspired to do this.
You broke up a little bit. The individual, first of all, it's a terrific portrait. You've got real talent. You did a portrait that captures the viewer, and that's not easily done. The way you did the whole portrait, the eyes, the coloring, the shadows, and so forth. Now, the individual, I think you told us who the individual was, but I didn't hear it.
His name is Chadwick Boseman.
Okay, and heroes?
He was like, I interpreted him as a hero like me, and I mean that in the way of like the Black community. I think he inspired a lot of children like me, and the way he carried himself was just inspiring to a lot of people. And I think he was an actor, and the movies he played in, they were cultural and they impacted the people around me.
You know, our nation's gone through a lot over the last year and a half, 2 years. And the heroes, we often recognize them. In fact, today we did a Congressional Gold Medal for 4 of the Capitol Police that were injured or did extraordinary things during the 2006 insurrection. But then there are heroes in every one of our communities. And you've identified a hero. And I'm really impressed not only by the choice of your work and your title, but by the quality of the work that you've done here. This is an extraordinary portrait. And I think our judges saw in this piece of art the quality of the portrait, as well as the purpose and what you try to message with this artwork. Congratulations. I know that you are, I always mispronounce this high school, Marysville High. in Fairfield. And congratulations to you and to your teachers. I suspect that along the way you found support and inspiration from the art teachers. We may have art teachers on this tonight. If so, I'm going to give a very special shout out to all of the art teachers that are participating or listening, and those that are not. When all of the artists who have been participating in this congressional art contest, when you go back and you have an opportunity to talk to your teachers, perhaps it's an art teacher, or perhaps it was some other teacher that inspired you, I want you to give them a special thank you. None of us do anything alone. From the moment we're conceived until the moment of our death, there's always somebody somewhere that is there giving us support along the way. And for all of you that have participated, you've had support quite probably from an art teacher somewhere. And so I want you to give them a shout out. Just tell them that, just say thank you. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for making me a better artist and also a better person. These are extraordinary works of art. And in every case, you are using your own emotions, your own vision of yourself and your circumstances as a student, as a locked in, the very first one, a view from a window. That's a lot of your lives over this last year. And you've seen that in different ways. Perhaps a self photo as occurred there, maybe a selfie if I could use that word, or interpreting your own circumstance, your own emotion, your own reality, and putting that into a work of art. That's what an artist does. And sometimes it's a very, very happy thought. I suspect when you did the painting of the poppy, that was a happy moment. And Hunter, when you talked about your own memory issues, not sure that was a happy moment, but it was a very real moment. It was an expression of you and your concerns. I suspect your memory is better than you think. I suspect that you can train your memory. I try to do that all the time. And I'm not terribly successful at memorizing names. But if you work at it, you'll find that there's a synapse and you'll be able to remember better. For those of you that have endured isolation, I'm going to share with you something that I've come to share, and that is what we did in this pandemic. What we tried to do was practice a 3,500-year-old public health practice. About 3,500 years ago, 3,500 years ago, in the country of Egypt, there was a pandemic. The cause of the pandemic is said to be God's anger at the Egyptians for what they were doing to the Jews. And what did the Jews do? They learned of the pandemic, and what they did was self-isolation. They locked themselves in their houses while the pandemic raged and resulted in the death of an untold number of Egyptians, but not the Jews, because they practiced social distancing 3,500 years ago. And you know what they call that today? They call that the Passover, one of the very important Jewish holidays. So in the Jewish art, there is often representations of the Passover dating back millennium and even today. And so perhaps the lessons of life are still with us, the lessons of the history. Your work as artists, as you continue in your vocation of art, you will develop artwork that will express you and your circumstances and your society's circumstances at that time. You go back through all of the art that exists, and it is a representation of that period, of the artist's own understanding of themselves and their community in which they were living. Sometimes it's very happy, sometimes it's very playful, sometimes it's very sexy, sometimes it is very heavy. But that's art. And that's what all of you are doing. And so I want to congratulate all of you for your effort and for taking the time to express yourself through the medium of art, visual art in this case. And maybe you want to do it in music, maybe you want to do it in sculpture, maybe you want to do it in any number of ways, but please stay with it. And for all the teachers out there, and for all the enablers that made this possible, a big thank you, and a special thank you to the judges. I can see as we've gone through each of these slides, you indeed had a very, very difficult task. But you did the selection, and I'm grateful for your time and your effort. And we look forward to next year. I look forward to meeting at least some of you along the way. Perhaps I'll be at your school, perhaps I'll be at some community meeting. Please stop by, introduce yourself to me, and tell me about what you are currently doing in your artwork. So with that, Logan, what do you say? A big shout out to all 23 of the submissions, and particularly to the county winners, to the runner-up, and to the grand prize winner. So thank you so very, very much.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And thank you all so much for taking the time to join us this evening. We really appreciate it. And like the Congressman said, we appreciate everyone and everything that goes into making this such a success every year. I know we really look forward to it as staff. And as you can tell, the Congressman's pretty enthused about it too. So we appreciate you all taking your time to be here. And that'll wrap us up. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.